All right, we have Henry Toto here. Please hit the raise your hand function and we'll start with questions. We'll start with David Pascal, then we'll go to Vince.
Hey, Henry, just kind of wanted to get your take on Georgia's rushing offense. I know it seemed like they struggled just a little bit against Arkansas, but then they really got going against Auburn, especially Zamir White, number 3.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Georgia prides herself on. They want to run that rock. They're going to do everything they can to get the running game going. And they have the team to do it. You know, they have a great offensive line, Zamir White and all the backs that they have. So, you know, we just got to be honed in this week.
Henry, can you talk about all the guys that have really rotated at those outside linebacker / DN spots that you're working with, whether it's Kevon, DeAndre, Tyler, and there have been a number of young guys in those spots. Talk about kind of working with them and trying to help them along they can all be successful.
Yeah, I mean, it's helped out our team tremendously. It's given us a chance to have guys in there that are fresh. So that we're able to rush the edge, that we're able to play the run. So it helps us being able to rotate guys like that, being able to especially have the young guys contribute to the team. So, you know, every single person in that outside linebacker group helps out tremendously.
All right, David Ubben and Patrick Brown.
Henry, when you're working with Quavaris and Jeremy, what are the questions that they're asking you the most often about playing inside linebacker?
Just like what I see and how I react to things. They ask me where I place my eyes. You know, we kind of try to feed off each other. But mostly they kind of just ask me about the playbook because I've been in there. You know, JB was on the offensive side of the ball and Q was an outside linebacker. So Q had a good grasp of it. But just the little things that they try to ask me about how the playbook is and just the schematics. You know, they're great football players. They both have tremendous instincts. So I try my best to help them out in the playbook.
Henry, kind of following up on that, what have you seen from both of those guys, and how are they kind of having bigger roles, starting, playing a lot? Is that changed at all their kind of how they approach things daily?
JB and Q been hard workers since the beginning. It hasn't just started when season started, when they started playing in the games. They've been working hard ever since quarantine. Ever since they knew they were going to be inside linebackers. So they've done a tremendous job of putting their head down, working, and not only them, but everybody in our linebacker group. But they've done a tremendous job of trying to know everything, getting as much knowledge as they can, and they let their talent take over the rest.
Austin Price.
Henry, you guys made some plays this past weekend, but you still, you know, are either getting guys just back for the first game with a guy like Darrell Middleton, or, you know, Sham's still not been out, and Bryce has been banged up, McCullough was banged up against South Carolina. Is it exciting to know you guys have been able to have some success and haven't been at full strength? And you know, do you kind of look forward to being able to get out there and have a full complement of guys?
Yeah, and, you know, we can't wait until we get everybody back, everybody 100% back. But, you know, we have the mentality of the next man up. You know, we never look at the next man that's filling in somebody's position to be a downer to the team. We believe that every single body on this team will contribute and will do the best that they can.
All right, Eric Kane, then back to David Pascal.
Hey, Henry, what have you guys seen from Stetson Bennett and the other Georgia quarterbacks through film study earlier this week?
You know, they do a great job of running that offense, especially behind their big old line. They try to run the ball. They get out as much passes as they can. So, you know, we just got to be able to contain them. They both can move. They both have good vision on where to put the ball and ball placement. So, you know, that's kind of what I've seen through my one day of studying. So I just got to be able to dig deeper as I go throughout the week.
Henry, kind of a follow-up to that. You know, Georgia wants to get the ground game going, like you've said. But when you look at Bennett, Tennessee's faced Jake Fromm the past 3 years. Is Georgia different in any kind of way with Bennett than they were with Fromm?
I mean, from what I've seen, they're still Georgia. They're still trying to pound the ball, like you were saying, and that's Georgia football. They're trying to run that rock down your throat. So nothing spectacular that's been different. Everything's been what we expected to see on film and what we expected going throughout this week.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Henry? Blake?
Hey, Henry. Yesterday, Coach Pruitt said when he looks at Georgia, he doesn't see a weakness. Do you see a weakness there or an area where maybe you guys can exploit or take advantage of?
Coach Pruitt hit around the spot. They're big boys, and, we have to do our part. We have to come out mentally sound, physically sound, and give it our all. They're a great, phenomenal team, and they're not just going to lay down. So we got to give everything we got throughout this week and show it out on Saturday.
I have a question for Henry. Henry, I know JT Daniels hasn't played in a Georgia uniform yet, but you saw him in high school. What do you remember about JT from your high school experience with him?
That boy can play. JT Daniels is a great, phenomenal player. They had a great team in Mater Dei. We seen him in the state championship game, and they handed it to us. But JT is a great, instinctive guy. He knows where to put the ball. He did a great job at USC. So, as long as he keeps doing that, their whole entire quarterback crew, no matter who they put in, is going to do a great job.
Trey Wallace, then back to Patrick Brown.
Henry, we talked about last week how it's going to be different with crowd noise and you being able to call plays on the field and not have to worry about it in certain instances. So how would you rate your defensive crew this past week, being able to get the signals in from the coaches on the sideline, and then you also being able to relay that to your teammates?
I feel like we did a good job. There were some instances where we could have got the call in, where I could have made the call faster, where I could have got the D lineman or the back end set up a little quicker than I usually do. That crowd noise played a huge effect, but that's Rocky Top for you, and we appreciate them so much. But I feel like if we just keep building, if we just keep getting comfortable, as long as everybody knows their responsibility, that the crowd noise won't even be a problem. We all know what we're supposed to do. So for me, I just want to be able to get things off quicker, let everybody know what to do faster, and that's the main goal moving from here on out.
And a follow-up to that real quick. So you talk about that being at Neyland. Now you go to Sanford, where you're going to get that environment that you had in Columbia. Do you think you guys are getting better when it comes to that altogether, getting the play calls in, being able to communicate with the guys? And do you think it'll be any different Saturday?
I feel like it's all preparation. It all started on Sunday when we came back and practiced on Sunday, and we did our scouting report. So as long as we prepare Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all the way leading up to Saturday, it shouldn't be a factor. As long as we all are honed into the game plan and honed into what Georgia's trying to do, we'll be perfectly fine.
Henry, you guys talk a lot about going 1-0 every week. As you hit the reset button on each week, is it easier to kind of get refocused when you guys are 2-0 and the number 3 team in the country is up next, or do you guys try to? Has there been some extra juice this week, or do you try to treat this like it's just another game?
We come out with the mentality that it's another game. We give our all in every single week that we have, and that's something that Coach Pruitt harps on. He tells us that every single week is another opportunity to be the best player you can, be the best team that you can. This is a big team, but we got to just have the same mentality throughout the entire season, no matter who we're playing.
All right, thanks, Henry. We'll have running back Ty Chandler shortly.